So I renneted and cultured this milk overnight, the same way I did the chev. And it's just a matter of adding the culture and just a drop of rennet to keep that fat as much intact in the curd as possible. And now we have this beautiful floating disc of curd. It's like that beautiful ice disc we sometimes get in Westbrook here. It's exactly what you want to see for this cheese, and it's time to start cutting it and cooking it into cottage cheese. The first thing I'm going to do is start up our heat because I want to get it up to 113 degrees, but before it even starts heating, I'm going to cut it into 3/4 inch cubes. Do this using the 45-degree method, although with these cubes they're not as critical to be perfect cubes, but you know, why not if you can. The hard part with this floating disc is it does like to circulate, so I sort of have to follow it as I cut, and I should sort of push it when I cut back so I don't have to follow it quite so much. That's one direction, then I go 45 degrees in the other. I use my opposite hand. You can use your same hand, however it works. Here again, our mass is floating around, but that's okay. The curds in cottage cheese are a lot more forgiving. You just want to essentially get some kind of uniform size because then they'll all lose moisture at the same rate. And then the last cut is straight up and down, 90 degrees to the cuts I just made. So this should be at about room temperature, which I'm guessing is about 65. But we've got our handy-dandy thermometer to let us know. And then we start to stir it. No, it's about 73 degrees. And then you can see the white underneath the yellow fat, the yellow cream. And I'm just going to be stirring it and slowly increasing the heat to 100. Yeah, it's back down. So as soon as I mixed it up, it all evened out. So it's about 69 degrees right now. So it'll take 30 minutes to raise it 43 degrees. And I'm finished stirring. I've got 113 on my thermometer, so I'll take that out. And now the trick is to drain the curds. Don't even need cheesecloth for this, although you could use it. But this makes it simple. Don't need to drain it all the way because we're going to just put those curds right back into the pot. And we're going to wash these curds with water. This is about a gallon of cold water, but the key here is it's cold water. The curds had been at 113 degrees as I was stirring them, and that's increasing the acid activity and the culture activity. As soon as this water hits, that culture activity is going to stop completely. But the key thing is those curds are just going to shrink that little extra bit more to make them nice and tight and give a good texture to them. So then it's just a matter of making sure they're fully cooled down, and then I drain them again. So my pot's cooled down. I now have washed curds. You can see they've sort of like got shriveled look on them. That's from the cold water. I'm just going to put these back into the pot to salt them because it's a nice flat surface. I've weighed out 7 grams for my 1 gallon of cheese, and I'll just sprinkle that in there. Stir it around to mix in. And we have cottage cheese. This is the good stuff, especially with great Maine milk. This is so good that I'm going to show you how I like to eat them. You can see we've got curds here. They're continuing to weep some whey. You can drain it or not, as you like. I don't mind it. The deluxe version is to actually drain it and add cream back. That would be delightful. But really, you don't need much, especially if you use whole milk to enjoy these curds. Just scoop them out. All right. And then a lot of people like fruit or something sweet with their cottage cheese, but I really like mine savory. So my favorite way to enjoy whole milk cottage cheese is a splash of olive oil, a grind of pepper. Ooh, that is good eating. Oh yeah.